Today, I'm chatting with a very inspiring, world-renowned fine artist and designer. Why would I feature a fine artist on the Songbird tree, I hear you say? Because this amazing artist's journey will inspire yours as a singer, I promise. Her journey from obscurity to worldwide renown, being featured on the Huffington Post, Wall Street Journal, ABC, CNN, NBC, TEDx, and many more will blow your mind. Instead of using a paintbrush, she creates extraordinary pieces using everyday items like chopsticks and basketballs, and they will leave your jaw dropped in complete amazement. Her stories and insights on how to face your fears and go for your dreams, and how to share your creativity with confidence and conviction with the world will excite and warm your heart. So, are you ready for a life-changing experience, Songbirds? From theSongbbirdTree.com, and today I have a very special guest with me. Welcome, Red, to the studio.
Hello, great to be here.
It's so good to have you speak to, this worldwide community of songbirds. We're just so privileged to have you today. Thank you.
I feel so lucky to be able to speak to singers and musicians. I have never thought I'd be speaking to this crowd.
The best bunch of people on the planet, okay?
I'm sure.
Now, okay, Red, can you please tell us, a little bit about your journey, like where you actually started in your career and how you have ended up as a world-renowned artist today?
Thank you. I'm an artist right now. My background is in architecture. And I guess art has been something that I've always loved. As a kid, I grew up wanting to work for Disney. I did a lot of doodles. I watched a lot of Sesame Street. Did a lot of doodles on my textbooks too. But then when I got into university, I guess I decided to go to a more sort of a path where there was where I could dabble between science and art. So that was architecture for me. So that was my background.
Sure.
And when I did that, I did not do any art projects at all. So I studied in Melbourne. I graduated and I went to Shanghai to work for about 3 years. And while I was there, I guess the city inspired me. I guess the change of environment inspired me to dabble with art again. So
Fantastic.
During the weekends, I would create art pieces and I would upload them onto Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and share that with my friends in Melbourne and Australia.
Right.
Melbourne, Australia. Sorry, Malaysia and Australia.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Malaysia
no coffee
and
this
Australia.
morning, that's why.
Ah, right. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to get you a big cup of coffee soon. Sure. And so tell us about your very first art piece. Tell us the inspiration and what happened.
Okay, the very first art piece I did that I uploaded on YouTube was a portrait of Yao Ming. I guess, and I painted his portrait with a basketball. So
Because he's a famous Chinese basketballer, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So why I did a portrait was of him and other Chinese I guess personalities was because I thought that China as a place was really interesting. The people were very interesting, and I wanted my friends outside of China to know a bit about what I was doing there. So I chose a couple of people, and Yao Ming was in the spotlight at the time because he just retired from NBA.
Right.
And so I wanted my portraits or my paintings to have an association with the materials that I was choosing. So I used a basketball for him because it's a non-brainer. He's a basketballer, right? And when I was doing that, a friend of mine, Joel, shot the process of my painting process, and
So you
uploaded it
painted
on YouTube.
a portrait of Yao Ming using a basketball.
Yeah.
How amazing is that?
For fun. I don't know. That was really a silly sort of challenge that I gave myself. I get myself into trouble all the time.
But you actually didn't get into trouble this time. Something amazing happened. Tell us about that.
Yeah. All right. What happened was Joel put it on my YouTube channel, and I shared it with my friends on Facebook, and I started to get a lot of likes. Apart from getting likes from my mom, I got likes from my
It's
friends.
always encouraging.
Yeah. My mom used to be the only stalker. Okay, not that I have stalkers now, but so yeah, I started to get a lot of likes and shares and comments, and that was very encouraging to see friends doing that.
Awesome.
And then so after about 2 weeks, I started to get, I think, quite a few thousand likes, about 2,000 likes, and that really exceeded my expectations.
Sure.
Wow, okay, there's strangers looking at my stuff right now. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
And then I guess one morning, after a couple of weeks, I woke up to 500,000 views on my YouTube channel, and I was shocked. I was just, I did not expect that at all. And the views just went up and up and up every few hours. And I discovered that it was featured on Gizmodo.com, and after that it was featured on CNN and ABC and all that sort of stuff.
Wow.
And yeah, that was a crazy day. I remember.
Wow. So you rang your mum. Mum, have you just been clicking on my?
Mom was at home at that time. I was in Malaysia over summer holidays.
Right.
And she was the one who came in with her iPad going, "You're on CNN." And I remember I didn't know what to say. I was like, I looked at it and went back to my bedroom, and I went, what on earth is going on?
That is crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
So how did you feel? I mean, all of a sudden, your artwork is being viewed and liked and, I don't know, scrutinized or whatever by the world.
Okay, I
not
thought
to make it sound over dramatic.
not at all. I think the first reaction was fear. Actually, it was a mixture of excitement and fear. Excitement, seeing I guess the views go up, and it was fascinating to me to see how fast I guess things can get circulated around the internet.
Yeah.
And I think I was scared because I started to see a lot of comments from strangers, and most of the comments were very positive, but there would be a couple of more sort of negative comments, I guess.
Yeah.
And I went, what is this? Oh my gosh, all these people who don't know me are commenting.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that made me scared or nervous, I guess, was that I'm not trained professionally as an artist. And here I am being featured, and there's a lot of artists out there who have devoted more time into their craft who are not recognized for their art. So at that time, I guess I felt a bit like fraud. But I guess what really made me continue was seeing all these really encouraging, inspiring comments from strangers who went, "Oh my gosh, I really like what you've done. I've never seen art done this way before. Can you do more? I'd love to see more." So that made me sort of take a step back and go, hold on a minute. There are these awesome people out there who are really nice to me. Who recognize what I do. Maybe I should give this a try.
Yeah.
So that was what happened.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so, you were talking about before about experiencing that feeling of fear along with the excitement, and also the feeling of being a fraud. Now that's really, I'd like us to just delve a little bit deeper into that, because I know that that's something I know I've experienced myself, and I continue to experience every day. Like when you put yourself out there, like whenever I put a video out on YouTube, there's this feeling of, oh my goodness, like what am I doing? Yeah, right.
Definitely.
So it's almost like what people talk about as the imposter syndrome, where you're like, I'm not good enough, or you sort of don't match your own expectations. But then you're out there, and it's like, for you couldn't stop it. That was it, like, So I guess in some ways you were kind of forced into this situation where the whole world's basically looking at your art, and they can say whatever they want about it. How did you deal with, some of the negative comments that you might have gotten, and also just that fear and that feeling of being a fraud?
Yeah, I think at the moment it was about being satisfied and happy that I've actually put myself out and did something different.
Yes.
And I think that was really all that all that mattered to me, and I think it was about really focusing on the people who believed in what I did, and seeing past that. I think because what I've learned throughout this journey is that you can't please everyone.
Yeah.
There's bound to be, I guess, people outside online, hiding behind the screens going, I don't like what you've done, but do not focus on that. Focus on the people who actually celebrate your success. So that has been, I guess, a learning lesson for me.
Fantastic. Yeah. You know what, Red? I am so glad that you didn't let your feelings of fear and feeling like an imposter stop you. Because your art is just amazing, and it's just touching hearts and obviously, really just impacting the world in a really profound way. You probably don't even realize it yourself, right? But your art is amazing. So thank you for just continuing to get out of bed and show up despite your fear and despite the fact that sometimes you just don't feel like you're good enough, but you do it anyway. So I think that's really inspiring.
Wow, thank you. Thanks for the encouragement.
No, it's well deserved. So tell us about a couple more pieces that you've done and the inspiration behind it and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. I think one of my favorite projects was this project that I gave myself last March, and that was to create an art piece every day in the month of March with food on a piece of plate. So I gave myself that challenge because prior to that I did a lot of massive art pieces of portraits.
Yes.
And while I enjoyed that, it became more and more complicated. It took more and more time to create. And I started to delay things because I wanted it to be perfect. And then that made me step back and go, hey, this was not why I started to make art in the first place. It was just to push myself out and have fun. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to do something really different right now. I'm going to scale down my art pieces and create a piece of art every day on a plate and push it out even if I do not like it. It does not have to be perfect.
So every day, that was your commitment?
Every single day.
Fantastic. I love it.
And I remember, the only way to do it is to announce it online. So I did one piece a day, put it out and then announce it, and the next day I went, oh my gosh, what did I just do to myself? How on earth? And I didn't have like a few pieces as backup as well. So I was locked in.
Right.
And then by the end of the day, I think this is the fascinating thing about the internet and the community online. People were going, hey, where's your piece today? Where's your piece today?
Oh.
And I would go, okay, no, it's coming soon. It's coming really soon. So they were my accountability partners, I guess.
Yes.
So that was heaps of fun. That was a lot of stress at the same time too, because I guess by a certain hour in the day the sun would set and I would have to get it out by then.
Right.
So there were a lot of days where I would just have a heap of stuff on my table, mental block, creativity block. What do I do? Just do it, put it out there even if I do not like it. And I remember gritting my teeth going, this is totally not what I want, but it's okay. And then I would put it out.
Well done.
And then I guess the lesson that I've learned throughout this is that if you compare my very first piece to the last piece, I guess there's a massive difference in quality and the way I do things. The first few pieces were very rough. Then it got better and better and better. So I guess that was a lesson for me that, as long as you do it, you improve along the way.
Yes.
The very first piece that I created, I thought was pretty good already, good enough. And then in between there were a lot of struggles and I did not like a lot of stuff. But when you compare where you've gone, how long you've gone to already compared to where you first started, you do see the difference. You might not see it at the end of it, but when you compare yourself to where you started, you go, wow, okay, I've made progress.
That's fantastic. I mean, one of the things I get my students to do is to record their lessons. And so, if they're feeling discouraged or like, oh, why don't I still sound like Beyonce yet? That sort of thing. I'll say to them, go and listen back to your first lesson, or maybe even 3 months ago, and then compare it with your recording that you just did today, and you'll just be like, oh my goodness, I have come so far. But you don't really see it in the mundane, in the ordinary, in the everyday doing of it, right? But consistency is such an amazing thing, and you were such a great example of that, because you were just like, every day. For 31 days, I'm just going to produce something and I'm going to put it out there in the world. And you actually stuck by that. And I remember that series. I remember, you know, looking at it on Facebook and going, that looks so good. Like, you know. So I'm not sure what you meant by, you know, oh, I don't like it or whatever.
Oh no,
But we're our own worst critic, aren't we?
Yeah, that's so true. I remember this. There were so many days where I went, you know, oh, I'm so insecure about this piece. It does not look good. People are going to shun me and all that, you know. And I think a lot of stuff like that, a lot of negativity is just up here. And it's not as bad as you think.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So Red, in terms of how do you actually deal with how do you actually deal with your own self-critic? Do you know what I mean? Because like we can be our own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So do you have any strategies, I don't know, that you sort of employ to make yourself just shut up, critic?
And I think that is right. You nailed it. It is shut up. You know, just shut up. I will do it. You will always be there telling me that you can't do it, but it's okay. I know you're gonna say that, but it's okay. I'm gonna do it anyway, and that's all that matters. Seriously.
That's
awesome. I think it is really all that matters is you stepping out and actually doing something about it, and then you improve along the way.
Love it. That's awesome. So songbirds out there, just, you know, I know that you always struggle with, you know, I'm not good enough and all that sort of thing. Just talk to your inner critic and say, shut up. I'm not listening to you. Go away. All right. And you made a very interesting art piece using chopsticks. Now, okay, that's just bizarre, Red. Really bizarre. Can you tell us about that?
And I don't even use chopsticks. Oh, this is really embarrassing. Okay, that's like a confession that I just made in front of everyone. You use it correctly, right?
I don't think I use it correctly.
Do you go crisscross? Because I go crisscross,
I
which
think
is wrong.
I don't know what I do.
It should
but
be like a tip. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, but you used it for something else, though.
Yes, I did. I created. I collected about 64,000 pieces of
Whoa!
chopsticks. Yeah.
64,000.
It took a long time to source. Yeah. And then I rendered it into an image of a portrait of Jackie Chan.
Wow. Yes.
Yeah. It was inspired by a scene in his movie Drunken Master.
Drunken Master, right?
It was one of his earlier movies, and there was a scene where he fights with his master with chopsticks, and I liked that. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
His sense of humor.
Yeah.
And it's very different from his, you know, usual sort of fighting scenes. And that was a very fun project because his art director contacted me to commission me to do a piece for his 60th birthday.
Wow, what
March
a
this year.
privilege.
Yeah, I was just completely shocked when I was contacted by him. And it was such a, I guess, amazing experience to meet him, to actually see him, to discuss about what we could possibly do, and to actually have him in my video. That's crazy. I was just mind blown about I guess when I met him. It was like a flashback of how this whole YouTube thing started for me as well. I was like, how on earth that to this? Crazy times.
Very crazy times.
Yeah.
So, just a side question: what's Jackie Chan like as a person? I mean,
Jackie Chan
meet him in the flesh.
I did. He is really funny, humorous, very warm, very friendly. So he is. I felt that he was very much like his character on screen, actually.
Right.
So it was really fun meeting him.
That's awesome. All right, I have to ask this: did you get to meet Adele as well?
No, I did not. I would love to meet Adele.
Wouldn't it be amazing?
I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah. Adele, if you're watching, we would love to meet you.
Remember, I still have your portrait in my storage room.
So that's why I asked that question, right? Because you made this amazing portrait of Adele using candles, of all things. Please explain.
Okay, I will explain. And they are blue tea-light candles that smell of blueberries. It was inspired by her song Set Fire to the Rain.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
that's one of my favourites.
Yeah, okay, that's
absolutely
one of my favourites too. Yeah. And I think at that time how it started was I really wanted to use candles for something, and I experimented with that, and that song was popular then. And I thought, hold on, Set Fire to the Rain, and candles are, well, I think this how the song spoke to me was that she was singing about her past love and you know how tears were running and you know she set fire to I guess her emotions, her tears.
Yeah.
And then so I guess candles worked well for that because once you set fire to it, you know, it starts streaming down like just tears. You just totally let loose and see all this liquid running around. So that was what I did, and
You're a genius.
No, it's really trial and error. Seriously, trial and error. With this piece, it was accidental how the effects came out actually.
Right.
Because I did a bit of tests before creating that piece. But the test that I did was on a small sheet of paper, and I thought, yeah, okay, I sort of know how it worked. It should work. And when I really actually did it, when the video crew came in, I did it on a big piece of canvas that was sort of caved in a little bit, so the wax started flowing into the middle, and I went, oh my gosh, it should be static, it should just stay there, right? So I was really stressed out, so I had to really move really quickly. Right. But I liked the effect in the end, actually. It looked really dramatic going like that. Oh. So I was really scared because I was thinking, okay, I can't let the video crew down, they're just here for a day, you know. But it worked well, so thank goodness.
Yay! Yeah. But I mean, how funny about that when, like, sometimes we do, you know, things we have an idea of what it should be, and then it doesn't quite work out the way you had expected, but it's still really amazing.
Does that happen to you too?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm just wondering to musicians and, you know,
absolutely, like, you know, I'm sure, you know, a lot of people out there probably songwriters and stuff like that, and so have a particular... you know, maybe they set out to write a song about a certain subject, or they say, okay, I'm going to write a happy song today or something, and it turns out to be something completely different, but it's amazing.
It's a different part.
Yeah. So there's sort of, I guess, you know, being an artist and being a creative person, there's a sense of, you know, sort of setting out you wanting to do something, but then being able to be fluid and kind of go with the flow a bit, right? Like, I mean, how important do you think that is for artists?
I think you have to always be really flexible to, I think, embrace change. Because I think an analogy that a friend gave me was, I told this friend that, you know, a lot of my stuff comes out really differently because she went, you know, I really like your stuff, but I'm like, but it didn't really meet my expectations. But what they see is, I think me personally, if I go, okay, I've set out to do this project and it should look like this, and then it turns out looking like that, right? But all these people who are seeing it see that, they do not see that
what you had in your mind originally.
Yes. And I go, you know, I've missed the mark, you know, I've not created that, but it's okay to do something different. At the same time, you should be always open to I guess change and doing things differently. It's okay.
Absolutely.
That's part of the art.
Absolutely, yeah. And I think the main takeaway also is that if it doesn't meet your original vision or expectations, that doesn't mean that it's not good enough. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't put it out there, right? Yeah. And in fact, you might surprise it. You might be actually surprised and delighted by the response.
Yeah. And I think a lot of possibilities could come up from it, because with a lot of projects that I do, I start creating them and I go, oh my gosh, I never saw it that way. You know, I could create a different piece like this. And then as you progress along the way, you go, oh my gosh, it could be like this too. So you write it down in your sketchbook. Well, I write stuff down in my sketchbook and I revisit these ideas again. And it could bring you to a total different path. And that's the great thing about, I guess, creativity.
Yes, that's the fun of it, isn't it? Love it. So Red, you know, throughout this conversation so far, you know, we really talked about your journey and how, you know, it's sort of on the up and up and up, or at least that's kind of what it feels like, right? But has there ever been any time during that where you've just felt like, I don't know, either you felt like a failure, or you've just come up with a really major obstacle or something that you've had to really overcome?
Yes. That happens to me a lot, and I think it's the whole inner critic thing again, you know, going, what am I doing? Am I going anywhere? You know, and then that just spirals on, and before you know it, you go, you know, I can't do it. I feel like a failure already. And it's all this inner voice that happens. It's not, I think you really need to shut it off sometimes, because that might just, that would not help you at all.
No.
So I think whenever that happens, I have to remind myself that everyone goes through these questions and doubts, and
that's right.
And I think it's about embracing that fear, that it's always gonna be there, but it's that fear that is also able to push you out. So I think throughout the last couple of years of making projects, I've always had that fear. And it's good because you know that when you're fearful, you're actually stepping out and doing a new thing.
Yes.
You're doing something that's totally out of the norm, and that would bring you somewhere else.
Exactly. I love that philosophy. And just to see you live it out on a daily basis is amazing. And I think sometimes from the outside, you can look into, you know, like your life and all the successes you've had, and we could sort of think, oh, she's got a perfect life and everything's just easy and roses and rainbows and unicorns. But, you know, and it's like, no, I'm human as well. Yeah. And I go through the struggles every day. So I think that's, in some way, it's really encouraging, you know, for all of us, because then we all go, okay, well, we're all normal and we can all have a go at this, you know.
Yeah,
so thank you so much for sharing that. So in terms of your life and the trajectory that it's taken, is, you know, are you living your I guess definition of success, or is success somewhere still out there somewhere that you're pursuing?
I think I'm finally living my dream of
Yay!
Being an artist.
That's
really
amazing.
creating and having and being recognized for it, and I'm so thankful for that. But what I think my definition of success is what this musician conductor Ben Zender said, I think, in his TED talk that I just watched a couple of weeks ago. It's something along the lines of how many shiny eyes or sparkly eyes are looking back at you. How many people have you really inspired? It's not about fame or wealth or money, but it's how much meaning that you're bringing into people's lives around you. And that amazing. Really spoke to me, because I think beyond just the fame and I guess even the wealth that comes with it, you know, and all that, it's really about bringing meaning and joy back to this world, to this generation, to people around you, and inspiring people to I think do what they love and, you know, pay it forward. So that's my definition of success, and I do want to continue, I think, use my art and my creativity to inspire others, and I do want to continue creating projects that have that vision, I guess. So yeah. That
is so inspiring. I love it, because it's not just creating art for art's sake, but it's about really wanting to touch the world and to bring something positive to the world, to make a difference, right? I love it. That is amazing. So Red, being a creative person and an artist, you've obviously got a lot of different projects and things going on. Can you just share with us, you know, one really exciting thing that is going on at the moment? You know, one of your projects or whatever?
Ooh. Okay, let me think.
Oh, you can have two.
I'm so lucky to be able to work on these stuff. There's gonna be one coming out really soon, and I think the fun bit about putting yourself out there and putting your stuff on social media is that you don't know who's going to watch your stuff, and they could be from people anywhere in the world. So part of the reason why I'm back here in Melbourne is to work with World Vision Australia.
World Vision Australia? Yeah. Awesome!
Yeah.
Right.
And then we are travelling tomorrow to Cambodia.
Tomorrow!
Yeah, tomorrow!
If I could come with you!
Oh, that would be great! That would be great! So yeah, I'm traveling there, and I've never been there before, and we are doing a project that involves two of my passions, one being art, the other one being running. Ooh. I'm not going to reveal too much yet.
Okay.
But it's going to be exciting. It's going to be something that I've never done before. And I am very lucky that I guess these guys at World Vision actually believe in what I do, and see where it could possibly lead. And I think if it all goes well, we're gonna I guess do this in other countries as well, and it might happen back here in Melbourne.
Okay, so it's all very mysterious at the moment, but it sounds really exciting, especially being affiliated with World Vision.
Yeah.
So, you know, your dream of being able to use your art to really do good in the world is coming true!
Yeah, I know! So when they contacted me, I was like, guys, thank you, finally! Just joking, but it's been great working with them, and I really am very happy about, you know, them supporting my vision, I guess, of this project. They've been very open to ideas.
That's amazing. Where can we go to, follow this progress of this amazing project?
I think I'm gonna document, I guess, my progress the next couple of weeks on my channel, my YouTube channel.
Which is
youtube.com/OICRED. That's OHISEERED.
Or just click here in the vicinity of somewhere around Red's face. You can click on her there.
Or you can go to my Facebook, Red Hongi.
Yep. Excellent.
REDHONGYI.
Yep. Well, I'll have all the links down, in the description, but you know where to go. Okay. That's amazing. So make sure you follow Red's progress on that, because this sounds like just an amazing project. I can't wait to see what else. And next time, pack me in your suit bag. Seriously, okay?
Okay. I'll talk to those guys about it.
Awesome. Okay. Now I have some random lightning round questions for you.
Ooh.
So we're just, they're just kind of random and just whatever the first thing that comes into your head, okay?
Great idea. I like that. Let's do it.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Who's your favorite singer?
Jay Chow, Adele, a lot.
Okay, cool.
Because it's tough.
Oh, and you made portraits on both of them, so...
Oh yeah, that's true.
So links down the bottom too. Yep. Okay, favorite movie?
I really like Life is Beautiful.
Oh, what an amazing movie.
It's
Great.
kind of sad though. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Favorite restaurant or food?
I love Korean food. I love Korean barbecue.
All right.
Yeah, favorite restaurant currently in Melbourne. I love Proud Mary.
Proud Mary is great. Yeah, you got to try G2 if you like Korean barbecue.
I have. It's so good. I'm going back again. But okay. Anyway,
all of you who live in Melbourne, go to G2 and try amazing Korean barbecue. Okay, if you could go anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Iceland.
Iceland. Okay, we'll ask why later. What's your favorite book?
I'm currently reading David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. It's really good.
I've heard that's really interesting.
Yeah, I love his books.
Fantastic, fantastic. Now, what would you be doing if you weren't an artist?
Good question. I would still be working as an architect, I think, but I think I would still set up side projects and it would lead me somewhere else.
Sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you are an artist, so we don't even have to worry about that question, really. Fantastic. You have passed the lightning round. All right. So here's my final question for you. Now, this is a little bit of a doozy, so be prepared.
Okay.
Are you prepared?
Uh-oh.
So serious.
All right.
Okay. All right. The Songbird Tree's tagline is "Get grounded, take flight, and sing." Now, I'll let you just have a minute to digest that. Get grounded, take flight, and sing. So even as I was saying that, all the songbirds around the world were saying that with me. I hope you were. Okay. Could you give singers around the world who are watching this now one piece of parting advice for how they would do this? How would they get grounded, take flight, and sing?
Oh.
Told you it was a doozy.
Very deep. Let me think. Get grounded, take flight, and sing.
Yes.
I think the get grounded part would be to I guess improve your craft to I guess decide what you want to do. Take flight would be to actually prepare for it, and sing would be actually doing it. So I think they're all very, very important things to be able to prepare yourself and actually just step out and do it.
I love it. So basically, so work on your craft, prepare for whatever it is your dream is and what you want to do, and then get out there and do it.
Yeah.
I love it! That was great. That was really, really great. Hey Red, it's just been amazing to have you on the show.
It's been so good being with you too, and you guys too.
Thank you so much for everything that you shared, for all the wonderful insight, and just your generous heart in sharing all this. I'm very, very grateful, and I know that singers worldwide are very inspired. And good luck with, you know, your mystery project with World Vision and every other things that you've got lined up. And everybody, do not forget to follow what Red does. So just all the links of her YouTube channels, Facebook, Twitter, and whatever, everything will be down there. Okay, so make sure you go and check it all out. You will be inspired. Thank you so much, Red.
Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. Okay, bye.